looked like a truck driver. She acted like a truck driver, okay? And we had to tell her to dress, okay, like not a dress, like a truck driver, and shave her legs and everything like that, you know, and and get out of her fatigues and stuff like that. And today, last year, she made $1,700,000. Okay, $1,700,000. Okay. We got housewives in our company. Housewives. Okay. And some of our housewives are making $500, and some of them are making $250,000. And I got a housewife that speaks Japanese that made $4 million last year. Isn't that unbelievable?
4 M's. 4 M's.
And from there, we've even got doctors today, okay, that are on the president's team, okay, that are making almost $1 million a year. And the most unbelievable thing is we even got lawyers in the company. That's amazing. And we got some lawyers that make $500 a month, and we got lawyers that make $100,000 a year, and we have one last year that made over $4 million, okay, as a lawyer, okay? And if you can get lawyers doing it, it's really unbelievable, okay? And so everybody, okay, everybody's doing it. The product is so amazing and the testimonials are so amazing that we just really don't have to say all that much. Get them on it, get the money, and let them have the results. And the results do what? Speak for themselves. Because as they go walking down the street, everybody's going to notice what's going on. And then they just say stuff that's simple like you, and they start making money, and everything is fun, and it's simple, and it seems like magic, okay? And that's what's really important. See, as long as you keep it flexible and it stays within the concept, that's important, because then you're able to get anybody. And that means when I say talk about this philosophy, I'm very serious about it, okay? Because anything that you do outside of the norm, okay, other than using, wearing, and talking, you're gonna make a serious mistake. Making anything other than the issue of those three things, and you're gonna make a mistake. It's keeping yourself excited, okay, is what's the most important. And when you're getting that weight down, you get excited, and you get more confident, and you get more courage, okay? And that confidence and that courage and that feeling that you love about the products is what transmits to people, okay? It's not always so much what you say about the products that's important. It's how you feel about what you say about these products that's so important. And people read that. Don't you think that they can't? It's what's in your eyes. It's how in your voice. It's in your heart, okay? That is what people believe in.
We're gonna stop it right there because I feel like that's like the best part right there of what I was trying to get to today. Skirt. Let me do this real quick. Welcome to the Do It 24 crew call. My name is Jerry Cooper, current global expansion team member. Excited to get all the way to president's team and take a lot of people with me and change their life as well, because that's the best part about it. And because it's not about us, it's bigger than us. It's about the group. It's about the people, right? I'm super fired up because about what he just said right there, right? Is that at the beginning, right? And even now, it's like, not necessarily so much about the information. It's not about knowing necessarily how many grams of protein, how many carbs, how much grams of fat, what's all the ingredients, right? Like I actually just had a conversation about somebody in my DMs about this the other day. Like, oh, how many ingredients does it have, right? And I'm like, listen, it got some ingredients in there. It ain't just got one or two, but I'm gonna tell you, it's amazing nutrition, and I feel excited. I feel really good after I take it, and it's been around for 40 years, right? Here's my results, and here's some people's results that look similar to what you're trying to do, right? So it's not about necessarily telling her, oh, it got blah 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 in there, because I'm gonna tell you the truth. If you've ever asked me about what's in the back, type of one in the chat if you read every single ingredient on the back of the shake. Type of one if you read it. and you know. So if somebody asks you, hey, do it got this in there? I honestly can't tell you if it's in there, but I can tell you how I feel when I take it. I can tell you how I feel when I drink that tea in the morning. I can tell you about the lift off and the beauty booster, and I can tell you about all the new stuff, the pineapple mango, XYZ. I can tell you that's what's in there, right? And it makes you feel good. And that's how you get more people. That's how you get more people into the business, right? As far as saying, yo, become a distributor. And that's how you get more clients, right? Because at the end of the day, you got to realize that we're in this for a reason, and that's to help people, right? One, let's get tied to helping more people so that way the money doesn't disappoint us when it doesn't come immediately, right? Does that make sense? Like let's make that the goal to say I'm trying to help hella people, and then the money follow right after. But don't forget the money is important. Like the money is important, and the more you retail, right, the more money that you earn, the higher that you get, the higher that earnings that you could get on your check, right? So if you guys have noticed, because if you're tracking your business, you should know that the checks dropped over the weekend, right? Actually, like last Friday, right? So the checks dropped on Friday, and I'm excited to hear some people, or they didn't drop on Friday, but they was posted to see, this is what's going on, right? So for those of us who've actually gotten checks, um, I would like for some of us to come off of mute and say, you don't have to say the amount, but you can say the amount. Yours didn't drop. Did you just check?
No, I did, but I don't know how much it is. It just didn't come through yet.
Just ran. Michaela, you see yours?
Yes, January. You talking about January?
Mine's dropped.
Mine didn't drop neither, Jerry. You got
That's
some
that get team thing.
team and above.
Man, I thought everybody would have the chance for theirs to drop the Jerry special. Oh man. Well, it's okay. I'll share mine, right? And I'll share what it means to me for me to be able to do that, right? So my check dropped. So it was 1,063, right? So if you would like your check to be at least 1,063, type a 2 in the chat. If you would at least to have it be that, right? So, okay, bet, right? So 1,063. So that's around a get team check. You know what I'm saying? Doing average numbers. So for what that means to me is first and foremost is that means that if it's an average of $1,000, right, then that's going to be an extra 12,000 a year. If we talked about this, if we talked about annualizing your goals, right, then you should be also analyzing your bills and what that might be throughout the year, right? So if you know that you're going to probably get on average around 12,000, at least from your checks, we're not talking about retail. We got to start looking at what that might be like and seeing what the numbers look like. You know what I'm saying? Does every type of 3 in the chat, if you can read your numbers and see how much your check probably will be. Type of 3, or type of 3 if you don't know how. Type of 4, type of 3 if you do, type of 4 if you do not know how to read it. Just so I can see, right? I wasn't planning on this part, but this is, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we do it on the fly. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we get to just do stuff on the fly to see how it works. All right, bet. So okay, so it's a lot of 4s in here. Okay, bet. All right, I'm going to give you guys an example of what that looks like. So let's say your organization, right, is doing 10,000 volume points. So everybody's clear about organizational volume versus personal volume, right? Type of 5 if you're clear on that. Type of 6 if you're not clear. 5, 5, 5. See, this is great. This is where we should be, right? This is where we should be to know the difference. 5, 5, 5. But I see some people didn't type though. So it's all good, right? But organizational volume is pretty much the volume from your supervisors, right? So to be able to gauge that, right, you got to say, okay, if I'm getting 10,000 volume points from my supervisors, right, what is 5%? So remember, we all remember why the 2,500 is important, right? So you can get your full 5% of your total organization's earnings, right? So, or their production. So 5% of 10,000, is somebody good at math? I know what the number is, but can somebody tell me like what that is? Well, you're right here. Like you don't count. This is 500. Bet. Yes. So just look at it like this, right? So it's a standard, right? To hit your 2,500. So at this point, so just know 500 is 1%, 1,000 is 2%, 1,500 is 3%, 2,000 is 4%, and 2,500 is your full 5% and beyond, depending on if you're a tab team member or not, right? But just for the majority, supervisors, 2,500 is your standards to get your full 5%. Now, what your organization, that's going to be part of your check, and obviously your wholesale, right? And so it's going to be really hard to like tell what your wholesale is going to be, just based upon you might have preferred members ordering at different rates, you know what I'm saying, whether it's at the 10% level or the 20% level. So you would have to really track it to see, but really don't have to. You should just automatically know you're going to get at the minimum a 10% profit from your preferred members, right? So but whenever we're talking about your organizational volume, it's going to be 5% of whatever that number is plus your roll-ups. Now, your roll-ups only happen depending on how deep your team is. So I'm not really going to dive too deep into that because that can get very tricky. But ultimately, in your first 3 levels, whatever that number is, you're going to get a 5% payment on that. Michaela, you got a question? I see you raising your hand. Is that what that is? Oh, okay, bet. Yeah, so 5%. So 10,000 would be 500. 20,000 would be $1,000 if we're doing 5%, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? 30,000 would be 1,500, XYZ. And then you get your bonus as a global expansion team member and whatever, right? So those are ultimately going to be your royalty points and your total production. Is that clear? Did I explain that well? Or could I just let me know, right? Because you know what I'm saying? I want to be able to explain this to where everybody can get this and it's not confusing, because at the end of the day, we're here to grow royalties, because the royalties was going to be around. So we got to get more supervisors, more people into the business, more people to say yes, more people to say, or more frontline distributors, right? The more frontline we can get, the higher chance that we can get that second line and third line and beyond. You know what I'm saying? So speaking of royalties and preferred member and documented volume tripping distributors, I want to show you guys some of the promotions that we got going on that just recently dropped when it comes down to the promotions, right? So Getaway 2022. So this is for everybody that's not a tab team member. So I think on this call, I'm pretty much the only one right now. So everybody can qualify for this unless you hit tab team during the qualification. So that happened to me last year, right? I was on track to qualifying for this one last year, and then we hit global expansion team member. So then they upped. I was talking to Marco I was talking to y'all about this, right? Yeah, that they upped the qualification for tab team members. So I was no longer able to qualify for this one. But everybody on this call right now, unless you feel, how do I want to say this? If you're on the teeter-totter of hitting tab team, the few of you guys, then you might want to just automatically go for the next one that I'm going to show. But for those of us that supervise, I'm not going to count anybody out, you know what I'm saying? But this is for people that are not non-tab yet, right? So pretty much if you achieve 80, 90, or 100,000 vacation points, you get to go on a trip to either within whatever's closest to your city, right? So Vegas, San Antonio, Orlando, Philly, Chicago, or Minneapolis, or Puerto Rico, right? So what is the vacation points made up of? Total documented volume points and royalty override points, right? So every volume point that you get is going to count towards this 80, 90, or 100K, right? And then you'll get to go on this trip in 2022. And also your royalty override points. So does everybody know? Type of 7 in the chat if you know what royalty override points are. Type of 8 if you do not know. 7 if you do, 8 if you do not know. Just so I can see. 7, 8. Bet. Okay, so I'm just gonna go over the royalty override points anyway. So royalty override points pretty much is the dollar amount, right? So just the dollar amount that you're gonna get from your organizational volume. So for example, right, 5% of 20,000. The reason why I'm saying 20,000 is because that's global expansion team numbers, right? So 20,000, 5% of 20,000 is 1,000, right? So you have 1,000 royalty override points. So the dollar amount that you get from your organization is going to be the royalty override points. So you're going to have to add that. And it actually shows that in the in your My Volume. If you look, it'll say royalty override, supervisor volume, XYZ, right? It'll show all that. And that's going to be what that is. So 1 point, 1 point. So for each actual point that's documented, you'll get 1 vacation point. So 80K will get you $400, 2 night stay and all this good stuff. 90K will get you $550 and a little bit more stuff. And 100K will get you $750, right? And so you'll be able to go to this and it's going to be super dope. They just started doing this like a couple years ago, and this is pretty much a breakdown of what that looks like, right? So your royalties 100, 120. So this is for somebody, right? So if you look at the royalty points, this is for somebody that's not even active world team yet, because it's not even 500 royalties. You know what I'm saying? So 100, 120, 150. But if you look, they're growing, right? So in January, so this could be somebody right now. So 100 royalties is what, 5,000 volume points? Something like that. I would say so, right?
I think so.
Yeah, it's 5,000 volume points. So this is somebody whose organization is doing 5,000, right? But they're doing personally between preferred members, distributors that's not supervisor, and themselves, retail, they're doing 6,000 personal volume with 5,000 org, right? This is the royalty points, so 100 royalty points. But they're continuously doing their thing, right? And growing and growing and growing and growing. So they had a huge month in April, 7,000, and their team went up a little bit, dropped a little bit off, but this is kind of what you want, right? You want your documented volume to go down, but your royalty overrides to go up, because when people go from qualified producer to supervisor, you want that drop off of personal volume and spill over into your organizational volume. Does that make sense?
Like a tier? Like a tier time? Like, is this
Yeah, like does that, so type of 9, if that makes sense, right? I just want to be clear so we all on the same page. Type of 9, if that makes sense. Type of 10, if you're like, what the hell, Jerry? That doesn't make sense. And I'll be able to explain it a little bit better, right? Okay, 9. I'm seeing a few 9s. All right, bet. So if I see a 10, I will explain. Right. I like the participation, guys. Bet. Just because I want everybody to know. So like I'm saying, you want that people to drop off, your personal volume to drop off from your distributors that's going to supervisor, and your supervisor going up, your supervisor volume going up, right? So that's a perfect example of this right here, of this from May to June. So obviously right here too, this is active world team right here, right? 500 royalties. So they're building it up. So this is somebody who went from 5,000 org almost all the way to 20,000. This is probably like 17, somewhere around there. So this is continuous growth with steady production, right? Steady high volume production. And that qualifies them to get to the 80K with them by the skin of their teeth, getting it 470, 470. But look though, they qualify, so they finna go get in. So this is the dope part about it, right? And this is the thing that I really want people to realize about when you're going for these vacations, right? Is that on the way, like, yes, you're gonna get $400 when you get the 80K, right? Yes, you're gonna get $400 and you're gonna get this stuff, right? Like dope, $400. Yeah, it's awesome, lit, right? But it's like, you done made way more money than that on the way. On the way to you getting to this vacation, you didn't ran it up. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's the importance of the vacation, not only to say, yes, let's go and take pictures and live that life, because yes, that's important, lifestyle and showing, you know what I'm saying? That's very important. But listen, though, this is a lot of money that's in your pocket right here, especially on the retail. Like, it's not a hell of a lot of money on the royalties yet. Not a hell of a lot of money yet, but this is a gang of money on the retail. On your way to qualifying and doing something major.
5K average.
Pretty much, right? And that's the thing, right? So the 5K not only gets you, right? And I just want you guys to understand this is a 5K standard all month or all year, right? The 5K doesn't only get you VIP at Extravaganza, right? Or not Extravaganza, but at STSs and all your events, right? So this is 5K double volume for JKO or for LDW, right? This is going to be double volume for Extravaganza. This is going to be double volume for LDW. And this is going to be double volume for JKO. So you qualifying for every major event, double volume. You're probably more than likely getting gifts because this is a hell of a lot of volume that you're doing. And you're going to be recognized in your area, and you made a lot of money, and you get to go on vacation. So that's a lot of incentive just for you to make a lot of money. Like, yes, you get to make a lot of money, and then you get a whole bunch of shit with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's a great year. That's a lot of money that year. I can't really say how much, because like I say, these numbers are very different in the documented volume, but that's a lot of money, right? And then obviously example 2, this is just them upped it a little bit with just pretty much a bigger team and a little bit more personal volume, right? And example 3 is just somebody just going bonkers. You know what I'm saying? Somebody just 7,500 standard. You didn't probably made 6 figures that year off of Herbalife. It's going down. You know what I'm saying? So that's lit. Yeah. So if actually this is, so like I was saying, this is the areas you'll go to. So if you live in these states, you'll go to Las Vegas, XYZ. You can check this out on myherbalife.com under the promotions. Next one. Boom. So this is the Tab Team Northern American Vacation Tab Team 2022. Mexico Riviera Maya. So pretty much the same deal, right? The only difference is, which is a big difference, 130,000 at the minimum to go, with a 40,000 total documented volume as the minimum as well. So it's like, as a Tab Team member, you got to at least put up 40K yourself as a distributor, right? And then the other 90K got to come from your team or also yourself, right? So there's a minimum production level. And the reason they want you to do that is because you get your bonus as a Tab Team member at whatever level, right? So whether it's Get Team all the way to Prez Team, this allows you to hit your bonus plus more, plus what I said previously, and you get to go on vacation, right? So that's what that looks like. If you're somebody that's teeter-tottering, or you're pretty much saying, yo, let me go ahead and qualify for the next level Tab Team, then you should pretty much be looking at this chart. You know what I'm saying? So some of you guys, that's just what that's going to be. So as y'all see, this is crazy numbers. So this person is already a global expansion team member. 1,600, 1,650. They already built their business up to a 2.5. So they built their business from a strong Get Team business to a global expansion team member, or 2.5 global expansion team member, and then doing at the minimum 8,000 volume points. And they were going brazy all year. So that's what that looks like. And then pretty much 2.5 global expansion team member up to millionaire team, right? That's right there, that 4,000 royalty override points, that's millionaire team. And then this is somebody from millionaire team taking it all the way to a very, very strong 7.5 millionaire team, damn near all the way to Prez, right? So that's what that looks like. So again, 1,000 royalty override points is global expansion team, 2,500 is 2.5. Millionaire team is 4,000. 7,500 is 7.5 mil, and 10,000 is Prez Team. So those are the 5 numbers you can look up and remember. So that's that. And then there's the Hit the 2,500 promotion, right? So pretty much for everybody that's getting started, everybody that's getting going, the qualification is between January and December. And also just for, I don't know if I said this, this is also for all year long. So January to December of this year. January to December of this year. So like I'm saying, this is not out of reach for anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like you just found out about this in July and you're like, oh man, I need to do 50,000 volume points in 6 months. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, in early February. So, okay, if you know you didn't do that well or as well as you wanted to do in January, you have a hell of a lot of time all year to be like, okay, let me annualize my goals. Break that down into months, break that down into weeks, break that down into days. What does that look like daily? And yes, you're going to have some up days and some down days, but it's about always applying pressure. So you have the time to make up for January if this didn't pan out how you wanted it to. So that's that. So hit your 2,500 pretty much. So it's between January and December, right, of 2021. So this is what this looks like. If you do 1,000, it doesn't work. 2,200 doesn't work. If you hit 2,500, it does work. Yes, and you will get this water bottle, right? So dope water bottle, got the top on there, cold beverages only, and a tablet box. So you get this tablet box, which is actually better than the green one because the gray, right? That's what I'm saying. Because the green one is the green one that I got right now. As y'all know, if y'all got it, right, it's just hella weak. But this one look a little bit better, right? So obviously you can be out branded and whatnot.
Pause. Is that lift off tablets on the top bottom? Are those lift off tablets?
I don't know. Yeah, so these are the rules and whatnot. Again, you can look this up. Get started on your road to 2,500 because ultimately, again, 2,500 allows you to get your full money, right? That's over 1K a month on your check alone every month. Yes, I'm pretty sure you're talking about the royalty overrides. That was over 1K. Yes, exactly, over 1K a month, right? So just build your business to a global expansion team, and you'll know at least for sure you're getting a band every month on your check. If you do your 2,500, just build your team, the global expansion team. Now, I'm not saying that like it's just easy, right? Because obviously it took time for me to do it. But what I'm saying is, if that's your mindset, let me just build it to be that. It'll be easy. Let me just go get 20 supervisors and let them all do 1,000. They don't even got to do their 2,500. Let me just go get 20 supervisors and they all do 1,000, right? Because out of that 20, about 7 of them probably will do 2,500. And then you'll be on your way closer to 2.5 in the next level. You see what I'm saying? So it's about just averaging out, talking to way more people because everybody's not going to do 2,500, right? Everybody's not going to do 5K. But if you have hella people doing a little bit, that's a lot ultimately in your organization. If you have a lot of people doing a little bit, because everybody doesn't want to go full time. Everybody doesn't want to put in the work to do XYZ. Everybody don't want to get on the calls, right? But some people will help their friends out that's here and there, and they'll go ahead and do the 1,000 volume points, right? Just by helping people out by posting sometimes. Everybody's not going to be as committed as you, right? And I just want everybody to be clear on that and not get frustrated when people say they might do things and don't do them, or people cat on you coming to or getting on the HOM calls or whatever, or getting in the challenge or whatever the case is. They say they was going to order their program on Friday and then they go MIA. That just happened to me on Friday. They don't care I'm a global expansion team member. They don't care that I'm Jerry Cooper. It doesn't matter to people. That's what I'm saying. Everybody's not going to be as committed as you, but you got to make sure you're the most committed because the most committed wins. So that's just one thing that I want to get clear to you guys, because I know what it's like to be on the early side of your journey, and you're like, man, I'm trying to build this up. I'm super fired up. I'm taking the products. I'm posting. I'm doing the deal. I'm getting on the calls. I'm writing down the notes. I'm talking to people, right? And you're not winning yet. And it's like, why is it not working? Listen, be committed longer. Understand that this is a long game. Right? There are a few anomalies that run in 1 or 2 years, but the majority it's a longer game than that. Because again, one of my favorite lines, the time is going to pass anyway. Set, you're 21, 20, 22. Listen, you're going to be 30 no matter what you do. So you might as well run it up. You might as well stay committed. You might as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, most of you guys on this call haven't even been in a long time. What's a long time? I haven't even been in a long time. I haven't even been in a long time. I've been in longer than everybody on this call, and I haven't even been in for a long time. So you guys see what I'm trying to say? Like, give it more time. Like, but also double your efforts for sure. Like, don't be lazy about it, right? Don't take 30 years to get to prayers, because that's not successful. That's not successful, right? But 10 years to prayers is successful. 12 years, the average is 14, right? The average is 14. So if you do anything before 14, you're better than average. That's a good feeling, huh? Like, damn, if I take 10 years, I'm better than average? Yes. Now, again, yes, there's some people that made it in 2 years. Okay, cool. That's awesome. The average is 14. So you have a 12-year gap to go ahead and get right. So don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't stress it. Just do what you know that works. And if what you're doing isn't working,
Yeah,
Go ahead and write that one down. Go ahead and write that one down. You are where you are because of who you are. So the check that you got or that you will get this month is because of who you were last month and who you were 3 months before that, right? If you want your income to go up, you've got to change. You got to do stuff differently. You got to show up differently. You got to do the things that, listen, I say this, and I know some of y'all, right? Not like this, but I know some of y'all aren't doing everything that you possibly can to change your life or to change your situation or go from here to there. I know everybody's not doing everything that's possible. I know you're not. And I'm not saying it like I'm excluded, like, because I'm not saying it like I'm excluded, right? But I know that I've given a lot and I've reaped the benefits. And there's more benefits to reap, which means that there's more to give. So I understand that I'm not done today giving. I understand that just because I'm a global expansion team right now, that I'm done doing what I got to do. No, it's actually just starting. It's actually going to get harder, because I've actually got to double up the business to millionaire team. So how do we go from 20 to 80? You got to give more. You got to show up more. Oh my God. Hey, listen, check it out. That was really good. I got off topic, but I really wanted to get in here and to talk about the challenge. But I just wanted to talk to you guys about the checks and what that's going to take and what that's going to look like, because I want all of us to ball. And I was talking to Tank about this the other day. Is like, it's not fun, right? When, like, imagine this, right? Imagine if I was the only press team on this call and everybody's where they're at right now. And I'm saying, hey, let's go do this, that, and the third. And it's like, at the end of the day, you might not be able to, because you might not be able, you probably can't afford it, because I'm press team, you guys aren't. You probably don't have the time, because I don't work and you guys do, for those that, you know what I'm saying, whatever the case is. And the time, like I said, the time freedom and the financial freedom. I don't want to be the only one, and not saying it like that, like me, but I'm saying, like, you don't want to be the only one making a lot more money than your friends, because then you guys can't do the same things. You know what I'm saying? And you want to bring the people with you that you care about the most. So that's right. Like, oh, I can't even invite them to this because they ain't got enough PTO. Like, I don't need to ask permission if I want to go somewhere. I'm grown. I am a grown man with a whole child. And you want me to ask somebody, can I take the time off to go do this? That's not cool. That's not acceptable for me. And I know that you guys are on this call because you dream the same way that I dream, and you want to get out of that. So that's why. But anyway, again, I keep doing too much, right? I want to talk about the challenge, right? So we got the challenge coming up on. All right, Liz. So now, Liz, I'm coming to you for a little bit of support here, right? I'm coming to you for a little bit of support because I know that you know what I'm saying? She's the pro at this. I'm not good at everything. I'm good at a few things, but not everything, right? Liz.
Yes.
Challenge starts February 15th.
Correct.
So I was talking to Will about this the other day, right? And I just want to clarify this for other people that, you know, might be in the same boat as Will, that was asking about the entries. So if I'm clear on this, in fact, you know what? Can you just do that? Please? You just talk about the entries, please.
All right, cool. So we kind of have kept it the same way that it's been since last year, since I jumped in with Amanda. So most of the structure I got from her, but it's $25 for buy-in. If you're not on any product, this is for clients. I'm sorry, let me back up. Coaches is $50 for buy-in. Clients is $25 for them to buy in. If they are not on product, they get access to the challenge chat. They get access to any meal guides or workouts that you want to share with them, whatever you choose to do. Their main plugin at that point is just going to be the challenge chat, but they're not going to have access to the raffles. They're not going to have access to the cash winnings at the end. If they're on a 3-day trial and they paid the $25 to get in, they'll have access to the raffle prizes. but not to the cash at the end unless they decide to go for a full program. If they do get on a full program and they pay the $25 to be in the challenge, they have access to everything, the challenge, the booty guide that's been continued for the last 3 challenges, the new nutrition guide that we have set up from Steph, the basically everything. They could do the raffle, they can get the money at the end. There is also a couple ways that we're having people submit for winnings. There's going to be before and after winnings, and there's also going to be a measurement category. So in the guide that we created, it breaks it all down on how to send in your before pictures, how to send in your afters, and it breaks down how to send in the measurements for on the scale and where to measure with like a tape measure around the different areas on the body. So you can send it straight to your clients so they can watch the video on measurements. They can see what the picture should look like before and after. And then the only way to enter, or the only way that we're having send money, is through Venmo, because Cash App has been having a lot of like fraudulent things happening. So we're just sticking with Venmo for now. Hopefully that answers everything.
Cash App is for the ghetto. I just want you guys to know that. Like, get off Cash App, you guys. But yes, Liz, thank you for that. And going into the challenge, right, I really want you guys to be clear on like the intention on the challenge, right? So, and yeah, as she said, she's the person that you pay. But the more coaches, right? Because this works on 2 sides, right? So if you're a coach that enters into the challenge, right? If you want your clients to get in, you got to pay that 50, right? And so that damn near automatically you just got to understand you're doing the challenge every month, right? Like, not saying that you have to, nobody has to do anything, but it probably makes sense for you to do it, right? So let's just say you're thinking logically and you're thinking with sense, and you're like, I'm going to go ahead and do the challenge, right? I'm going to pay the 50 so my clients can get in because my clients are finding value from the challenge. So ultimately you're paying 50 of your own money and you're in the challenge. So it's important for you to understand that because you paid 50, you're invested in the challenge, 1, to contribute in whatever way that you contribute. Not saying you got to create, not saying that you got to be speaking on calls, but those opportunities are available for you by you paying that 50 on the one side. But on the second side is that, listen, there's a pot for you to win money as a distributor between the gang, right? And what does that do for your business? If you get if you somebody right now that has 1 or 2 clients in the challenge, if you've been having 1 or 2 clients in the challenge, and you're like, damn, I really would like to get more clients in the challenge. I really would like to, you know what I'm saying, up my volume because I really want to go on these vacations. I really want to qualify for XYZ, right? I want to be a big dog, right? I want to bring more people on the team, right? Then you got to understand that by you being in the challenge and you taking it serious and you getting monster results in 21 days will bring value to the people that's watching you from the challenge that you just did. So you got to understand, like, okay, I'm paying $50 because I'm invested for my clients and I'm invested for my business in the future, because my business in the future will depend on these 21 days that I'm doing right now. And that way I'll also be able to get more than 2 clients in the challenge. And maybe I can go from 2 to 10 and 10 to 15 and 15 to 25, right? Because I don't think nobody in here had like 15 clients do the challenge at once. Imagine what your volume looks like if you got 15 to 25 people that's like, you know what, let me get in this challenge and do it with you. And then there's high value in the challenge because there's hella coaches in the challenge doing it. 1. So if there's hella coaches in the challenge doing it, that means there's hella clients in the challenge doing it. And if there's hella clients in the challenge doing it, that means there's a way bigger pot. And if there's, a substantial amount of currency on the line, people are willing to go hard, and people understand that because this is an Herbalife challenge, 21-day challenge, they might want to order more products to get the better results in the challenge to win the money. That might be a thought. Or if that's not necessarily a thought, it's your job as the coach to put that thought in their head. It's your job to let them know that, right? So they win, they get, so again, right? They get more results. They have a better chance at winning the pot. Your volume goes up, your income goes up, and you start to have the opportunity to qualify for different events, right? So it's like a 5-win thing just by you saying, let me take the initiative. And then obviously, like I said, you get your results, that brings more people in and you feel way better. So on and so forth. We keep the ball rolling and the rest of the year going. And then in a year from now, because I remember what it was like a year ago, right? A year ago, I remember what it was like. It wasn't all peaches and gravy, but I kept at it and the team kept at it. And so now here we are a year later and it's looking pretty prestigious right now.
Good work.
That was a pretty good word, right? Prestigious, right? So now what is the next year going to look like based upon what we do today? As far as challenges, as far as your business, as far as the team. We got 17 people on this call right now. Why we can't have 50? We be having what, 40-ish, 50-ish people in the challenges. Why we can't have 100 plus? We got a lot of supervisors on this call. Why they can't be full of active world team members? It's literally, I haven't had 19 challenges since last year. My volume was crazy. Living proof right there. 19 challenges, crazy volume. Wow. Simple, right? So let's go for glory. Let's go for gold. Let's go big or go home. If that's what you want, right? Because if you only got time to go for 5, like I'm saying, this is all within the people that want everything that's available, taking it all off the plate. But again, obviously, if you want less, nobody's shaming you. It ain't no type of, it's no shame at all if you want less, but more is available. That's the whole point that I want you guys to understand, right? So let's go for way more challengers in this challenge that's coming up, right? And there's a cutoff, right? What's the cutoff? It starts on the 15th. What's the cutoff?
That Wednesday, so the 17th. They can enter until the end of the day on the 17th.
So we have, what's today? The goddamn 8th?
They got 1 week and 2 days until the cutoff.
We got 9 days.
I hear Tango 9.
Right, we got 9 days.
I'm not in this room, I swear.
So let's listen. If you haven't been posting about the challenge, post about it, send it to your clients, ask people, do they want to bring their friends, let them know that we're giving out dope gifts. Like this is literally what I tell people. Hey, I got a challenge that's going on. I would really like for you to be a part of it. We're giving out raffles every week and it's a cash prize. And this is the key part. This is the key part that I really want you to tell people. We're giving away a cash prize to the best results within 21 days. Because a lot of people feel like a lot of people might see Lorraine and might be like, oh, well, she gonna win. You know what I'm saying? Because she ripped up. It is like, listen, she's ripped up right now, but if she don't got better progress than you in 21 days, she's not gonna win. You are. So it's about the progress within 21 days. It ain't about what you look like right now. You know what I'm saying? So make sure that you say that the progress within 21 days, because that makes it like less scary for people. You know what I'm saying? Because again, a lot of people is not used to doing challenges. They might be like, oh, I got to post. You going to show my photos. You know what I'm saying? Like, who going to be in it? Da, 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 da. And it's like, listen, your photos are going to get posted unless you give me consent. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to reassure people, right? But ultimately, let them know that we operating under ethics because we've been doing this for a while and we have a track record. Here's the results from the people from the last 10 challenges that we done did. And it don't got to be your client. It don't got to be your client. They don't know. They don't know that that's not your client. Show them the top 3. Show them the top 3 results over the past X amount of challenges and be like, listen, they didn't won, however, you feel me? They didn't want some money. You know what I'm saying? We didn't gave away beanies with earphones in them. We didn't gave away TVs. We didn't gave away workout stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, show people what we didn't gave and show people the value of them getting in, because again, they'll win and you'll win. Does that make sense? That's why it's important for us to do the challenge. And that's why it's important for us to focus on that, because it seems as if, right, that's been a driving force in what has been moving volume as a unit, which is good, right? Along with all the other methods. But this is one strong thing that we can all centralize in, because I know, for example, I don't do a satellite club, but I know Amanda does, right? But we all doing challenges. So it's like, as long as we can centralize into one thing, we can all be good at our other separate things inside of the circle of Herbalife. Use, wear, and talk. Does that make sense? That was really good. That was a really good explanation as well. I'm lightweight on one today. All questions is good questions.
I just want to answer Abinay's question really quick. If your client wants to buy in and you want them to be a part of the challenge, you do have to buy in. So we were trying to make it like a little bit lenient and courteous and saying like, hey, if you've got a lot going on and you don't want to participate in the challenge this time, like we'll help your clients out. But it's not fair to the clients and it's not fair to the other coaches in the team because they have their own clients that they're taking care of. We're all accountable to do this together. If you don't feel like you're able to get the best results in 21 days, that's okay. You don't have to win every challenge or go out and get the stupidest results every challenge, but it is a business that you're running. And if your clients are finding that they're getting great results from the challenges, then just make sure that you guys keep them involved in the challenges, but it does require that you are in it. So in case anybody didn't understand that, I just wanted to clarify.
Bet. Thank you for that. So yeah, pretty much, yeah, all questions are good questions. Other than that, does anybody got anything they want to say? Ask about anything? It's an open line. This is an open line. Going once, going twice. Okay, bet. Let me hold up.